What's going on, guys? It's your boy Toph. I'm going to show you guys how to install Hyper-V on Windows Server 2022. So if you go to this PC here, we can check and make sure that we're on Windows Server 2022. It's the same process for 2008 all the way up to 2022, but we can check the edition here. Once we know that edition, we'll click Start here, and we'll open up Server Manager here, and that's what this is right here. Once we have this open, we can add features and roles. We can read this if we want to, but I'm just going to click Next. Role-based feature installation, click Next. Choose your server, click Next. Under your server roles, there's the Hyper-V here. You'll want to check this. Then it's going to ask you if you want to install the RSAT tools, which is the Remote Server Administration tools. So you can take a look here, but let's just add these features. Once we're done there, we'll click Next. We can add other features too if we want I/O quality control, multipath I/O, or a bunch of things. We can add that here, but we're only focusing on Hyper-V today, so we're not going to select any of these. We'll go ahead and click Next. Hyper-V allows, good, Next. Then you're going to choose your virtual switch. Typically it's going to be your Ethernet port. If you're configured with 2 Ethernet ports, you can choose both or configure a vSwitch later for Ethernet. So we'll just check the default Ethernet here because we don't want to put this over our Hamachi VPN Ethernet adapter, so we'll choose Ethernet. And then do we want to allow the server to send and receive live migrations? What this means is that if you have Hyper-V installed with a bunch of virtual machines on another server somewhere in a data center, you can allow this and then live migrate all your virtual machines from your old Hyper-V server to your new one. So for example, if you're running Windows Server 2008 and you want to run 2022, you would spin up a 2022 Hyper-V server next to each other, allow live migrations, and then move your VMs from 2008 to 2022. In this case, we're not going to allow this, but that's how migrations work. Then we're going to choose the default. Where do we want to store it? If you're running like NFS or SMB or something, you can choose your mount points. But in this case, we're just going to throw it on the C drive. Cool. We're going to click Next, and then we're going to click Install. Once this installs, I would highly recommend restarting the server, and then I will meet you on the other side once that's completed. Alright, so once Hyper-V is installed, you'll just want to look at the search and type Hyper-V. I apologize, this is a different machine, but it'll work be exactly the same. You'll choose Hyper-V Manager, and then you'll open that up here. From Hyper-V Manager, you can configure some of these settings, connect to external servers if you have multiple hosts in your environment. And then you can right mouse click and get all the settings, so you can even stop the service, remove it, edit any disk. So if you want to locate disks or change your files for NFS and a lot of that, you can do the virtual SAN manager, so you'll get the worldwide names. And then you can also take a look at your Hyper-V settings, so you can go through these as well. But if you just want to configure or provision a new virtual machine, you're just going to right mouse click virtual machine, click Next, and then you're type in the name of the virtual machine. So in this case, we'll just do test. Choose your generation 1 or 2. Specify your RAM or memory. So let's leave it at 4096, which is 4 gigs. Choose the drop down and choose your default switch. Unless you renamed it, then you'll choose whatever switch you want. Then where do you want to save that? Here's another location. It'll auto-populate based on the host settings, but you can always browse this and change to whatever you want. You can change this to 100 or 64 tera. As long as you have the space available. So we'll just do 100. That's going to ask if we want to do our install media, so we can choose Ubuntu. We'll click Next. Cool. We'll finish that. Now some servers have issues where we have to change or turn off the secure boot for Linux to work, but other than that we should be good. We want to check We're making sure we boot from drive, and then I always move my network adapter down to the bottom, but you don't necessarily have to. This is the boot order, so the network adapter will boot after everything else. Cool. And then we'll right mouse click this virtual machine. We can click connect. It'll pop up another page here. This will be your VNC console. And then we'll just hit start here. Nope, looks like we can't put that much RAM because we have insufficient on this device. So most likely because I have this server on. Oops, still the same thing, so let's just delete this server. We'll start this. Alright, let's change the RAM then. I must not have enough on this PC, so we'll go back into here and we can update this. Maybe turn off dynamic memory first. Same thing, cool. So let's just give this thing a gig. And we'll try to power this on again. And there it is. So I didn't have enough RAM on this box, so I had to play with it, but now we're good. So we can install Ubuntu server. This is 20.04. So that's how to install Hyper-V and get a virtual machine running and install an operating system within your virtual machine.